Okay, here we are. I was just, again, not a bad thing. My camera reminded me when I'm talking and I'm not recording. Wonderful. So now we are actually recording. What was I getting into? I think I was just ripping on the power of stretching. Who would have thought? And it reminded me of a little realization I've had over the past week, which is the more I rotate these certain actions throughout my days, these effortless actions, meditation, stretching, walking, it's almost impossible to have a bad day. Whenever there's downtime or whenever you've finished your work for the day, if you toss in some meditation, some stretch, some walk, I'm not saying don't watch entertainment, don't enjoy yourself, but I'm saying as long as you don't get stuck into too much of an entertainment or consuming sort of cycle, those actions are going to keep you feeling wonderful. Like there's no way around it. But please don't believe me. Just maybe if you've been having some rough days lately, or you've been stressing, overthinking, just not feeling the way you'd like to feel, just play around with this. See if you can toss a 5-minute meditation into your day. See if you can toss a 15-20-minute walk into your day, a 10-minute walk. And not just one, but multiple. That's where the magic comes. It's okay. Entertainment, you do something, you finished your work. Now do a 5-minute meditation. Do something else, whatever you want. Now do a 15-minute walk. Yeah, do something else. Okay. Not run, but move yourself into a nice 10-15-minute stretch. And if you split your day up and you get those activities into the middle of your entertainment or the middle of your wind down time, they're perfect activities to relax you and keep you calm, collected, focused, and present. Emphasis on present. It keeps you out of stressing about the past or the future. You know, you can just, while you're stretching, while you're walking, you just focus on rising and falling of your breath, or repeat a mantra in your head if you're extra stressed. Like I like to just go with Ram J, and just cycle that through my head. Or you can use something like trust your path. Or rising and falling. You don't have to repeat a mantra. You know, you could do these activities and just straight up think. But for me, I find myself naturally thinking enough already. So I choose to just use those activities to focus on not thinking. And that's an interesting idea right there, that there could be value in not thinking. Like, what am I getting at? What? Right? That sounds a bit weird. There could be value in not thinking. But the reality is that you have multiple parts to your mind, and part of your mind is that conscious thinker, which is meant to be thinking. But then you have another part which is actually wise and in tune, intuition, your gut feel. And that part of your mind actually needs not thinking to be strengthened and to be taken advantage of. So when you train your capability to think when you want and to also not think when you want, oh man, you're getting somewhere there. And that's essentially just the power of meditation itself. But what I'm tying my bow on here is those 3 activities: walk, meditation, stretch. Toss those into your day, random times, multiple times. And I can just, please, if you do try this out, just let me know in the comments, like, what's it do for you? What effect does it have on what you feel and how you feel? Enough talk, let's get into it. We're in the depths of this workout, in the depths. This feels good. I'm just taking these individual sets to another level now. I just realized, like, wait, there's a little bit more you could give. So tap into that and just watch. This is what I mean. And I'm not like, oh wow, look at this guy. I just mean, wow, I used to not push myself like this. And it's nice to get the most out of what you got. Yeah, this feels wild. I'm just focusing on absolutely crushing every single exercise. And this is the difference between having an intensity focused workout and then a squeeze focused workout, where you can level up the intensity of the squeeze versus when you're just doing a full out intense workout. You're so gassed due to the intensity of the supersets and the movement physically, the cardio, that the squeeze, it's much harder to get to the depths of the squeeze. But now doing more of a slow squeeze focused workout, it allows me to absolutely destroy the individual exercise. So pros and cons, right? Trade-offs. That's all life is, trade-offs. There's this idea that, it comes from the Bible, but what's interesting about religion in the Bible and any of that is that so many people take it on in the form of an ideology. That being said, it's so powerful to embody, to truly embody the philosophy that's spoken about in the religious text. Point is, simple verse, or not a verse, just an idea. You get what you give. And it goes in line with that other phrase, which is, you don't say anything if you don't have something nice to say. I changed the word nice because the connotation behind that is you could be saying something nice but not actually mean it, not be aligned with it. But point being, those two ideas, you get what you give. And if you don't have anything genuinely kind to say, don't say it at all. Sounds better to me. If you embody that, your life gets better. When you give what you get, it's realizing what your actions do and how you carry yourself and what effect that has on other individuals in terms of how you affect their mood, what thoughts you inspire within their mind. Like taking this to another level and realizing that you are an influencer, not like, the average way that term is known, but you are consistently affecting people. And it's a choice to consciously pay attention to how you affect others and make sure that it's the way that you would like to feel, treat others how you would like to be treated. All of this stuff, it sounds so basic, but if you actually apply it and look at it with a detailed lens, it changes everything. It changes who you are. This one right here, this one is the smashing of internal limitations. Like, my mind is being, I'm just gonna have to work through it, not let the mind control. Let's go, let's go. Wow. Pull-ups are just another thing, right? There's some workouts which are just, man. But the cool thing is, whatever it is, whether it has more resistance like the pull-up, or it's something more fun like, chest squeeze, chest press, things of that nature, you can find a way to make the pull-ups funner, more so mentally, tricking yourself into, not picking a number, but picking amount of effort. Like, you're going to go to failure every set. Then it makes the pull-ups more entertaining because you're playing a game with yourself. There's no set limit. Just go to failure every set. It's these small nuances. And then with the easier workouts, you focus on what I was kind of mentioning earlier with this obsession with the squeeze, and you go to failure on those. And if you just turn it into this game of pushing till failure, I don't know, it gets a bit entertaining. So on that last point, when we're talking about embodying the philosophy from religion, there's a gap. There's a gap in society because it seems as if so many people are Christian or insert whatever label, whatever religion. The gap is the actual embodiment of what those holy books say. And it comes down to this concept of awareness, or your ability to observe your own feelings and thoughts. A lot of people find themselves disconnected from their mind and from their thoughts and their feelings. And their ego has certain programs installed in their system so that reality, the truth of the thoughts, the feelings is skewed. And they're being manipulated by these false programs that have been implanted in their minds through society, through advertising, through marketing, through the school system and the teachers. So what it comes down to is getting more in touch with your own heart, your intuition, your gut, because you don't have just your conscious mind, but there's also the subconscious. It's deeper than just your ego and the labels and the attachments, the wants, the desires that our egos are attached to. So what we have to do is to become more observant of our feelings and our thought processes, because that allows us to put ourselves in other shoes and to therefore embody the philosophy from religion, which is to treat others how you want to be treated. Well, you can't do that if you don't truly understand what you want to feel and how you like to feel and what creates those feelings, what attitude, what tone of voice, what actions. You can't force people to do certain things, but you can show up as a certain version of yourself who spreads a certain quality of energy. And on the same religious topic, something that I'm realizing is you can't give what you don't have. So there's these ideas where so much paradox is riddled within bigger picture thinking, like yin yang. That's the essence of the universe. If we always had the tide coming in, how would you know the tide's going out? So what it comes down to, you have to first realize that you can't give what you don't have, and that you may have to be selfish to get the things and then share them. You can't share what you don't have. But to get some things, you're going to have to be selfish. So is that going against religion? Is that going against higher level thinking? Well, if the root of you doing selfish things is to share what you acquire, well, then what are we doing here? So this is the essence of higher level thinking, is paradox. It's not black and white. It's not always and never. but many shades, many shades. And then all this paying attention to your feelings, observing thoughts, and just being ethical, the idea that sprouts from the books, the holy books. You can use this stuff in business. This stuff will make you money too. For example, one shift, which is, it's nuanced. It took me a bit to figure this out. Thankfully, it's like, hey, if you invest in yourself consistently and you reflect and you fill your days with healthy actions, you will get further in whatever avenue you're going down. But what I realized lately was there's a difference between having something that people want to buy and making them want to buy it, and then being like a salesman and having something to sell. It's the smallest of nuances. But when you're selling something, people feel like they're being sold. That no one wants to feel that way. When you have something that people want to buy, people feel like they want to buy something. They feel like what you're providing has massive value, so they're going to buy it. And it's just that simple in terms of what are the most detailed feelings that you're looking to create in yourself and in others, and figure out how to do that, and everything will start to work with you. Hey, could you just make sure I don't drop this? I'm trying to work harder.
Have you set in? Want a lift off or not?
I'll take a lift off. I think I'm gonna go for probably 6 or 5.
6?
Something like that.
Let me know when.
Okay. All right. Ready? 3, 2, let's go.
Yep, you're there. Good push.
Thanks, man. It's weird to start to recognize how small shifts start to compound in your life. I think that's probably the thing that I talk about the most, is just habits and small actions and subtle shifts in your thinking, in your psychology, in your environment, in what vision you have and what direction you're going. When you make nuanced shifts that seem small, they may be small. Day 1, day 2, day 7, day 98. They may seem small. By day 98, you're going to start to feel something. But my point is, you don't want to underestimate the value in nuanced shifts. Like, it's not something complicated, just something detailed. And when you begin to make shifts, everything in your life changes. It's essentially, you get clear on your values, and right, you're going to have some pulls, some pushes. But when you do be fully honest with yourself about your values, your direction and your habits are likely going to change. Because you're just going to realize, yeah, there's some things that I like doing, but then there are some of my highest values that I love doing, that truly are more worthwhile than other certain avenues. But it starts with just paying more attention. You pay more attention, you're going to get better answers because you're asking better questions, and you're looking with a more zoomed in lens. But the caveat here is, when you become more nuanced, you also need time and space to be emptied, because the nuance and the details of your conscious mind, it takes energy, and it's great to be zoomed in and to think strategically. But if you don't pair that with recharging, mind emptying acts like stretching, repeating a mantra, walking, repeating a mantra, meditating, repeating a mantra, then you may start to feel a bit too tense. So it's a double-edged sword, right? You become more detailed, you get better results, and your life progresses faster. But if you don't balance that acceleration with the right foundation, the fundamentals, the space to create peace, then you're missing half of the equation. So it's not that you can change everything at once, but I guess my main hint here is to focus on creating the space, the peace first. And then once you get those habits implemented and you're focusing on that more, then it's going to be much easier for you to make the nuance shifts, the details in your routines, your schedules, when to do what, and you're going to feel better more often than not.